I've been making Python scripts and projects for the last 6 months and I'm pretty proficient at this point. I was able to gather all my beginner's knowledge and deem myself so proficient at this point using various techniques. And I'll show you how I was able to do it. So let's get into it. It's easy to assume that I have some big secret for you guys as to how I learn all this stuff. And honestly, it might count as one because what I'm going to teach you may be a little bit different. Because the world we live in makes learning a little bit frustrating. There's a lot of paid stuff out there. There's so many paywalls. Honestly, just misinformation that learning kind of sucks. So I don't blame you for thinking that anything I might say right now is a little bit special. But there's no need to worry as I'm going to spill all my sauce for you guys in the following video. So let's get straight to it. Now, let's make it very clear. Mastery is subjective. And this is my journey. When I say I mastered something, I mean I'm just proficient in it and I can make some decent scripts and advanced stuff that work. But this does not mean that I know every obscure library. That's insane. That's someone who probably just sits inside all day. I'm giving you the most realistic, honest way of doing this possible. Getting into that flow state requires nothing but dedication and hard work. Now, as for my starting point, I do have some prior experience. When I was in 8th grade and 7th grade, I was learning C++. They built up a lot of mental knowledge and institution in my head of how everything works. These are the pillars behind most of my learning today. Without these things, I probably wouldn't be able to learn it so fast, but I'll try to give things in a structured manner here so that you can get it as fast as possible. But listen, the goal here is not to speedrun learning. You won't learn anything if you do it quickly. But what's special about this is that when you learn one language and you learn all the concepts that come along with it, you'll understand that, hey, every other language is the same thing with different fonts. Now, why did I want to learn Python fast, you might be wondering? Learning Python was a necessary task for me for kind of a multitude of reasons, but one of them mainly being DSA. Since I was like 13 to 12 at the time, using C++ mainly kind of made everything a little hard because as I'm trying to write down the algorithms that I was learning, even writing the code itself became a little bit weird and all like the symbols, templates, it was starting to give me a little headache. I'm like, hey, Python looks freaking beautiful, so let's get to it. Let's learn it. And I did. And another thing is the insane speed. Not the speed of the language. The language's speed is definitely a caveat, but I'm talking about how nice it was to make stuff. My projects went from taking hours to like 30 minutes. And most special of all, I love machine learning and I'm getting into it. And it is basically all Python. One of the only things you can do with machine learning is learn it in Python. Now let's talk about your commitment. The task of learning Python quickly requires extensive focus. I cleared my schedule and I found time in my day to make sure I could code every single day. If there was a day where I didn't code, it just didn't feel right. You need to build that emotional desire to just want to do it. Your subconscious mind will dictate whether how bad you actually want it. If you want it just for the looks, you're not going to actually want it. Doing it because you actually want to learn, you'll get there anyway and you'll feel great. And for the record, some of the days felt terrible. I did not want to code on some of these days, but on the other days, it was really fun. You can only get to the end of the race when you actually experience both those emotions. There's no path where you only experience one of these emotions. It's either both or none. You have to be locked in. But without further ado, let's get into the actual blueprint of this. Gathering your resources. None of this learning I did would not be possible if it wasn't for the resources on GitHub and the internet. Now listen, don't go searching around for a bunch of stuff on the internet right now because you'll get hit with a paywall. But people want your money out there. But out of those big group of people, there are those small individual groups who are helping you out just because they want to look better on their resume and they actually love what they're doing. They're not here to take your money. And one of the best examples of this would be 30 Days of Python. Yes, there's typos. Yes, some things didn't make a whole lot of sense at first, but dude, I laid the framework for all my learning in the span of like a few days. It's called 30 Days of Python, but dude, you can finish like 10 Python modules in a day. And for the record, these little tutorials are not going to be how everything works. They're just helping you understand the idea so you can actually expand and make your own little nuanced code. Everyone has their own coding style, all right? You're not going to code the exact same ways these fellows are doing on their own little sites. It's a very fluid thing to learn. Don't be distracted by that stuff. Now for your IDE, I mean, honestly, I'll point everyone to this if they want to start out. Just use that VS Code, bro. VS Code is the method. I love it. It's not even a method, bro. It's like the de facto standard. You can use NeoVim if you want, but if you're a beginner, bro, just don't do it. Core concepts. You want to learn all this stuff fast? You need to learn the core concepts. Every single thing you learn is based off of these. It's like the proof for 1 + 1 in math. It's like 200 pages long. All that stuff makes the other stuff possible. And it's honestly more advanced if you think about it, but don't worry. The harder stuff will become easier as you go along. It's kind of funny. The following concepts are very ubiquitous. You need to know variables, data types, some basic structures like some lists, sets, dictionaries, functions, and flow control. Those are like the basics. I mean, everything else just is stacked on these pre-existing things. The real learning will come from finding bugs in your code. But I will tell you now, I did code along as I was doing all these lessons because copying and pasting code does not work. Understanding why it works as you type it, that helps out. But you can't do everything this way. I only recommend doing this in the learning phase. You can't do this throughout the rest of your life, at least from my experience so far. I bet there's some cases where the information is so abstract that you might need to, but That's for a different day. Now, reading and taking notes is not going to be what gets you good at coding. So I'll show you what gets you good at coding. That's making projects. It is a known thing that projects get you better at coding. What better thing to do than make your own project where your mind is completely off the leash? You make whatever you want, and even if it sucks, you know what to do next time. It's time to actually learn and not be a bookworm. Build some basic projects. After you got the fundamentals down, you're gonna build literally like the stupidest stuff. You're gonna do tic-tac-toe, flashcards, or a key detector. That takes like 5 minutes tops. Tic-tac-toe could be a little extensive. If you're feeling a little bit challenging, do that. Now, I know there's like a 10-year-old out there who knows how to code his own compiler and run his own virtual machine. Who cares, bro? This is about you. I know it's easy to compare yourself. You go on TikTok or Instagram, you best believe it. If you're into coding, someone's gonna be out there doing FOMO on you. Do this, learn this, or else you're gonna miss out. Bro, you're gonna miss out if you don't know how to code in the first place. So just don't listen to that stuff. This is what I was working on as we were talking. It's not even fully done yet. I'll make the hardest part last, and I'll even maybe show it to you. It's just Sudoku. So I could sit here and solve this all I want, but are you guys really here to watch me do Sudoku? No. Okay, so you're past the easy part now. It's time to get to the intermediate stuff. The stuff that makes you think a little bit harder, but it's honestly not that bad because you already understand the basics. Object-oriented programming. I know there's people who hate this stuff, but you're going to need it. All right, no matter what, you need it. It's like the stuff you hate, but you want to do anyway because the world needs it. I tackled object-oriented programming by understanding what is it actually doing versus, oh, how does the code work behind it? You're making objects. Whoa, but what about the objects that don't really need to be objects? They need to be functions instead. What the hell's the point of the objects then? Okay, you can probably turn every object into a function, but it's about the state of being an object. It has a state. It does things. You're making your code way more organized. I bet you when you start making bigger projects and you don't have to go through a file full of hundreds of functions rather than just keeping them in objects, you'll understand. There's great examples with shapes out there you might see, but it might be hard to think outside of that stuff. So I advise you probably turn it into your own little thing. I did it with cars. Cars have wheels, engine, different parts, speeds, names. That's all part of something. Why would you want to make that a function? You know what I mean? Modules and libraries. There's no perfect order that I would like to learn these in. I'll keep it very straight, but some of the ones that I use a lot that you could have fun looking into if you're bored would be OS, sys for system, subprocess, pathlib, request, itertools, and NumPy. I love working with numbers in the system. It's one of the coolest things ever. Like your little computer here, you can talk to it like it's like your little buddy. That's crazy. Now my main project to cover up what I did would definitely be my macro project. You can make your own macro for a game. I know there's plenty of games out there where you need a macro. And even if you don't play games, a macro is great. It does stuff for you. Like I can make a macro that just spams keys whenever I want. It opens and moves my mouse to wherever I want on my screen. It's really useful. I made this macro a while back, and honestly, the code kind of sucks. I used async code for some reason without tasks. Like why? And I even made this for some reason. It's just a very ugly code. There was no need to make my own event loop class when async implements one. That's one thing you definitely learn as you're going across. Like there's no point in making your code extremely complex. It just gets complex if your code's actually complex. You don't need to make it complex. An idiot would desire complexity over simplicity. And constants. Okay, this was some AI spit. Like, are we serious? But it does work. Although there's a lot of errors right here. I hope it works. What's up, Alex? That actually is really cool. You can spam stuff with the click of a button. This is crucial though. I mean, once you actually build your own stuff and you understand what may be wrong, you now know more than someone stuck in tutorial hell. Now, don't use that as an ego boost, but you'll understand. Like you are evolving. It's slow, but if you get it over with every single day, you'll be better than everyone. Everyone sucks. Okay, whoa, I shouldn't say that. Everyone gets stuck because they're so scared. Just code. Just open up whatever you're doing in code. Don't listen to the LLMs on everything. Just code your own little thing, and there's a way to get better, no matter what. Don't watch anything, just do it. Anyways though, please, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you drop a like, subscribe. I'm trying to put everyone on. Subscribe though, please. I'm trying to hit like 100. I'm dropping all this lore right now. I better hit 100 subs. Thank you so much for watching though. Peace out.